Hey, dear beautiful you. I'm gonna share a story about the last 6 years of my life. I've written it in a blog and I'm gonna read it to you. Mysterious pregnancy and multidimensional birth. It all started on October 9th, 2016, after I had joined a shamanic ceremony with my dear soul brother Jesse van der Velde. I woke up in the middle of the night when an immense masculine presence entered into my being and merged with my energy field. It felt way too big for me to handle. It was quite a challenging experience, even on a physical level. I didn't know who or what it was, but I was certain that it was a very positive and powerful moment. So I surrendered. From that night onwards, my belly started to change. It got a little bigger. Oh well, it might be my hormones, I thought. A week later, while visiting my acupuncturist, something interesting happened. Just put as many needles in me as needed and let's go for a ride, I joked before I started. And so she did. While lying on the massage table, I entered into a deep state of relaxation. Slowly, I became aware that in front of me at a distance, a very loving and peaceful presence appeared. I saw a big gold and white beaming ball of light. It was Jeshua. He came closer and closer, closer and closer. And then everything inside and outside of me turned into a bright white light when he slowly merged with me, my whole being. I was in the greatest bliss I had ever experienced. For the next 15 minutes, I blessed the whole world and every living being on the planet. Love was radiating all over the place. Fast forward to September 2018, when I arrived on Big Island, Hawaii. The only thing I wanted first was to go find lava. For many years, I've felt a great attraction to volcanoes. It's the big mother energy of these massive mountains that know exactly how to destruct the old and create the new that inspires me the most. After crossing the island, not exactly knowing where to find that special lava that was calling me, I arrived at Gary's place, a lava photographer who had built his own house on the lava. I started crying as soon as I got out of the car. It was this raw Mother Earth energy, combined with my instant recognition of Gary as a true soul friend, that struck a chord inside. I understood that the ancient Hawaiian ancestors want to speak to and through me. So I asked Gary if I could stay there for a while. Oh, perfect. I have a van for you and you can stay here as long as you want, he happily said. During the next 6 weeks, I lived in Gary's exquisitely beautiful and bountiful garden, enjoying my house on wheels. It was not only the deep innate powers of the lava and the native Hawaiian ancestors that my body learned to get used to. It was also Gary who helped me release old trauma energy. In our intimate love connection, I was able to let go of a residual fear of man and learned what real surrender was. The last day before I moved on, he took me to Kilauea volcano, which had been active until the month prior to my arrival on the island. Some lava was still even warm. On our way to visit the huge crater, I felt as though I was absorbing all that power of Pele, the goddess of fire, while giving birth to my inner Pele, my inner goddess of fire, the Earth Mother awakened inside of me. I now know that this was all part of a big preparation. October 9th, 2018. I had been invited to a shamanic ceremony on Maui, Hawaii. It was in an amazing temple surrounded by pristine nature that I received the following words as a message. Baby boy, name Pacha, February. Quite cryptic, but that's how it goes, right, with intuition. It's not always spelled out word for word, at least not with me. By that time, my belly looked like I had eaten way too much. On the one hand, I wondered if I had to have my belly checked, and on the other hand, I knew there was nothing to worry about. Let's now jump to January 2019. I was giving one-on-one sessions during a retreat in Rajasthan, India. That's when I received another clear vision. I saw golden light codes swirling around on white fabric. The codes emanated a great white light. I got so enthusiastic. This was important. I had just met a guy who created light codes, so I called him to tell him that I had a vision for him. You can print your light codes on fabric. They want to be shared with the world, I exclaimed passionately. He, however, didn't seem too interested in that idea. How strange, I thought. It had been such a vivid vision. From that day onward, things went very fast. My belly grew bigger and bigger. It didn't look anymore like I had just eaten too much. Clothes got too tight. And then it suddenly dawned on me. I am pregnant. Huh? Wait, what do you mean, pregnant? How's that even possible? I thought. I then remembered the message from October 2018. Baby boy, name Pacha, February. Some pieces of the puzzle moved slowly into place. That night I had a very vivid dream in which Pacha spoke to me. He was the baby boy inside of my belly, and I was his mom. He thanked me for acknowledging him. I woke up overflowing with motherly love. The next week, while walking on the beach in Goa, India, I literally looked like a 5 months pregnant mother. Without any hesitation, some Indian women approached me, touched my belly, and asked where my husband was. Oh my goodness, what could I say? I could feel the presence of Pacha kicking inside of my belly. I was confused. How could I be pregnant? Maybe I was just making it all up. Maybe this was just a weird trip in my mind. Exactly at that moment of doubt, I looked to my left and saw a yellow beach shack with the name Pacha. And believe it or not, next to it was a boat with one sun written on it. Oops, you can't make this up. I had to admit that something divinely guided was going on inside of me. What a life. In that same week, I bumped into Sharon van Son. I just now realize that the synchronicity with her last name, Son, amazing. She's a lovely woman who I know from the raw food scene in the Netherlands. Whoa, are you pregnant? She asked. I shared my story of not having a clue what was going on, but knowing that it was all divinely guided at the same time. That evening, while sitting in an idyllic outdoor restaurant, I asked Sharon to place her hand on my belly. Within seconds, she discovered a boy inside of my belly. He took her on a tour into the universe and into the core of Mother Earth, explaining her about the origin of it all. After 45 minutes of sacred geometry, colors, and mysteries, Sharon came out of her inner journey, as if she had just had an ayahuasca experience. I knew whoever this being was inside of my belly, he was incredibly powerful. A very welcome confirmation to take whatever was going on seriously. Back in the Netherlands, I went to the hospital to have my belly checked. As I already expected, they didn't find anything. Not even extra gas, water, food, or poo. Nothing. So what was making my belly look 5 months pregnant? The doctors hadn't the faintest idea. I was giggling inside. Welcome to the mysteries of an unexplainable life of Sandra de Vos. I went back to live on Ibiza, where I spent my days eating pickles and mustard, the usual cravings for pregnant women. I walked around with the big belly and big boobs. Then, in May 2019, I received the message to start a new website called Light Code Alchemy. So that's what I did, of course. What is my logo going to look like? I wondered. You will draw it yourself, I heard. That's when my first written light codes were born, and I suddenly realized in that moment that the vision that I had had in India was about my own assignment. It was me who was supposed to create light codes on fabric. Slowly but surely I remembered that the expansion of my belly had started the day after I'd received that vision in India. Aha! So in one way or another, these light codes were connected to Pacha. I had by now figured out that Pacha was a multidimensional being of a very high frequency who was going to be born through me. Not in the form of a physical baby boy, but in the form of something else. Light codes, maybe? It's getting even more interesting. On Galactic New Year, July 26th, 2019, I sat down in the middle of the night to write in my diary. Writing is for me one of the ways to connect with my inner guidance. So here I was, sitting behind my laptop when suddenly a white wolf, an eagle, and a white buffalo appeared in my inner sight. A veil was lifted, and there I saw the most beautiful shaman with long black hair, who I had seen flashes of during my previous writings. I was in awe. This man had such a peaceful presence, radiating love, calmness, harmony, and wisdom, just like I had experienced with Jeshua some years ago. Everything I wished for in a man. My heart overflowed with love. His name, he who sees, he who knows. With a radiant smile, he gifted me the symbol of the yellow sun. A symbol that in the Maya Tzolk'in calendar stands for Christ's consciousness, divine union, and enlightenment. While looking each other into the eyes, he showed me a series of visions of how I would birth the sacred gift that I was carrying inside of my belly. I am with you. I will wait for you as long as it takes. See you on the other side of the veil, he said. This was my beloved speaking to me. I knew it. I cried for 3 days. I finally found him, my beloved other half. Together, we are one. Slowly but surely, my pregnant looks started to fade away. By moments, it could suddenly look 5 months pregnant again, but overall everything started to calm down a bit. Then, in 2020, I gave birth, once during a shamanic ceremony in the jungle of Costa Rica, and once again at 3,000-meter altitude, 12,000 feet, on Mount Shasta, California. What a trip. Fast forward to June 2021. I out of the blue felt the urge to draw a circle of golden light codes on a 66 centimeter round piece of paper. Right afterwards, my dear friends Tim Schipper and Marika Janna came for a visit and were the first ones to try out the circle of codes. "It's a cosmic portal," Marika said enthusiastically. That's what I felt as well. Perfect confirmation. I decided to take the codes with me on my trip to the Cathar region in southern France, where I would stay at Robert Bridgman's Terra Nova. As I am always curious to learn from other people's experiences, I invited the whole Terra Nova tribe to stand on the new light codes and experiment with them. It soon became clear that these were indeed very powerful codes. I was not the only one impressed. Then, on an early morning with my dear friend Albert Sonneveld, he took me on a trip to the 3 initiation caves of the Cathars. It was one of my greatest wishes to reconnect with the Cathar priest inside of me. Well, this day was one that is still carved inside of my heart. It was such a magical experience that it is still difficult to describe. While sitting in the tiny Yoni cave inside of the first initiation cave called Église, church, I experienced a merge between my inner masculine and inner feminine. Unity. Exactly at that moment, far away on the other side of the cave, a guide called Christian started playing his heavenly pan flute. The sounds danced from the one side of the cave all over the way to me, touching my heart and letting me know that I was being blessed by the divine. I was high on my own supply. A few days later, I visited the initiation caves again, this time on my own, to record light code transmissions for the Cathar series, still to be released. I'm waiting for the right timing. Standing in the pitch darkness in front of the little Yoni cave, I connected with the divine energies, preparing myself to enter the little cave again. That's when I received a clear vision of a golden symbol. "This is the key," I heard. I knew that this was important, so I carved the symbol in my memory and drew it as soon as I arrived back at Terra Nova. I discovered that this was the symbol that needed to go in the center of the big circle of light codes that I had brought to France. And as soon as that happened, it all clicked together. The key clearly fit into the circle of light codes. I invited all Terra Nova tribe friends again to stand on the now complete code. And yes, this was the right composition. Everyone was fascinated by the power of it and the balancing and harmonizing effect on one's energy field. This was the Unity Code. Just before I left to go back to the Netherlands, Robert asked me if I wanted to make a copy of this code for him, so that it could be placed on the floor in the source, a very powerful healing space inside of Terra Nova. That was the perfect question for me to realize something very pivotal. This is the code that I was supposed to print on fabric, just like I had seen in my vision in India in 2019. Wow, it all suddenly came together. And a few weeks later I realized that it was actually Pacha, the multidimensional baby boy, that had sent this code to humanity as a physical representative for his energy. While I'm now sharing this with you, it might all look so clear. But that's because we're having an overview of everything that happened over the years. During that time, however, it didn't feel that clear to me at all. More like I was walking through life with the blindfold wrapped around my eyes. Everything, every step got revealed when I was ready for it. As I entered into a phase of revelations, I discovered that my beloved, he who sees, he who knows, is the father of Pacha. And so he is also the father of this sacred unity code. Just like Pacha, he who sees, he who knows, lives in the higher dimensions and will never again take on a bodily form here on earth. That's totally fine with me, by the way, because the cosmic love that flows between our hearts and our souls goes way beyond the physical. I learned that our shared soul's mission is to open up humanity to the divine masculine frequencies, assisting in a harmonious balance between the masculine and the feminine energies on Mother Earth. With every step I took, it all came together like pieces of that perfect puzzle. Thanks to all the people that had experimented with the Unity Code, I found out that one of the best ways to consciously work and play with these healing and activating frequencies is by standing, sitting, or lying on them. That's how the plan for a light code meditation mat came into existence. A round piece of cotton with gold-colored light codes embroidered on it. Not only is it a refined piece of art, it is also a very practical tool. As soon as I was ready to find the right company to produce these special meditation mats, the magic of life led me to the lovely Bahare. She introduced me to a wonderful fair trade company in India, where love, dedication, and social entrepreneurship are of key importance. Yes, I found the perfect party that would produce the light code meditation mats. Soon after I started the collaboration with the production company in India, I birthed the second code, Earth. This precious one is connected to my second cosmic son called Anakaya. I experience Earth as a powerful multidimensional portal that assists us in deepening our roots into Mother Earth and aligning ourselves with both the earthly and the cosmic realms. Unity and Earth work closely together, where unity brings expansion and invites you to embrace your highest potential. Earth brings grounding, calmness, and inner peace. Both cosmic codes have their unique way to bring balance and harmony. Their multidimensional intelligence goes way beyond our human comprehension. During the fall and winter of 2021, I went into a deep breathing phase. This hibernation allowed both unity and Earth to ripen inside of me. Yes, the codes had already been created, but still, I had to fully integrate these sacred codes first before I could share them on the physical light code meditation mats. It was a big process of inner cleansing. Old energies were being released so that I could be totally ready to hold the ground when the codes would be presented to the world. It's quite a responsibility, and I take that very seriously. There is still one part missing in this whole story. Do you remember that I received February as a part of my message during my journey in October 2018? Well, we're now getting to that month in 2022. So on February 24th, of this year, during another shamanic ceremony, the last and final birth of both unity and earth took place. A big column of white light appeared when the profound birthing process had come to an end. Both sacred cosmic codes were anchored into our precious Mother Earth, ready for the high frequencies to effortlessly flow into our physical world and assist us in our collective evolution. And to make the circle complete, in May 2022, I took both Unity and Earth to Ibiza, where Esvedra initiated them into their full potential, ready to share their magic. After a week of chilling in the UPS warehouse in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, for no real reason, all 400 brand new shiny light code meditation mats arrived from India, exactly the day before our first sound medicine concert in June. It is clear that these cosmic portals play an important role in the mission that Tijn Tauber, Binky and I have with these healing concerts. With the assistance of both Unity and Earth, a powerful vortex can arise that supports us in remembering our multidimensional origins and anchoring the high frequencies into our bodies and Mother Earth. Everything is coming together. Now, after all these fascinating months, both codes have been intensively tested and experimented with by over 100 people. I have received tons of interesting feedback and feel humbled by the great impact that both Unity and Earth have on the lives of people. And there are probably more codes coming in the future. Never a dull moment. I'm happy to be of service. I'd like to especially thank you, my dear soul brother Jesse, for indirectly being the energetic initiator of this whole roller coaster. Thank you, Gary, for helping me to clear the way and inviting me to experience true surrender. Thank you, Albert, for allowing me to feel such divine harmony. And thank you, Tijn, for being such a true cosmic brother with whom I can share my excitement about this whole episode of my life. I feel seen and honored as a woman. Without you and many other of my precious friends, I would not have been able to allow this greatness to happen. I bow to you. Oh, and by the way, guess what I just discovered? Based on the Maya Tzolk'in calendar, we are now in the 13-day wave of the yellow sun, the symbol that he who sees, he who knows, gifted me when I first met him. Obviously, he already knew that this was going to be the excellent timing for Unity and Earth to be introduced to the world. Big smile for that all pure perfection. I now have shared what I know to be connected to this whole adventure. But I'm sure I missed countless moments in which I wasn't aware of the contribution to this great storyline. Oh well, the mind likes to understand it all, but isn't it the heart that leads the way? As we know, life can unfold in ways that go beyond the comprehension of the mind. Trusting every single step without knowing the big picture asks for total surrender to the divine knowing of the soul. Now both Unity and Earth are shining their golden, sparkling light codes on the 2 meditation mats, eager to assist whoever is ready for new discoveries and adventures. If this resonates, take a look at lightcodealchemy.com or find more information in the link in the description box below. To read all about the Light Code meditation mats and find out if you feel called to explore the depths of these precious multidimensional vortices. P.S. I just finished reading this storyline to Tijn while we were on our way to sound medicine concert, when we discovered that the car in front of us had Pacha written on the trunk, a lovely wink from the universe. And here you go. This is Earth. You can see it shiny in the light. And here we have unity. Thank you so much. And I feel I'd like to share a little bit of cosmic sounds in this moment. Pitelaye kariete katuko. Pikelaye tel ayadek na ikrotuko bik ni dialektiki botaka. Intel iatik dirurko Ariel ingrietel ik darab tunung turutik ewok. Lenin bufli alektak ahakukok. Likiri murtulie niktero akatil niene putul fargat akuelak tietil pujo oniriktak aratukturu aka. Mindia plavrekotok akatur jokur katelipdung alvaroko sektara kartak. He kenia mutola chenak nas sakwak ikewak ilewantik nimir kutulaya antaki. Ikielek ikitukurka mindinan saktie wahatil pede manaku inetala. Chikiwatanka. Thank you. So much love.